Shalom. Welcome back. First and foremost, I want to give all glory, praises, and honor to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And salutations to you, Akim, that's pushing his word in sincerity and truth. Coming back to you with a lesson dealing with a document I just came across that goes back to something that was put out in 2017. All right. And it is a file called the SPARS Pandemic 2025 to 2028, which was put out by John Hopkins. All right, now this is a bombshell breaking document that was actually put out in 2017 that basically game plans every event that is to happen during this pandemic. Okay, and when you read through this thing, and this thing is over 70 something pages long, it gives you a play-by-play of how they're going to roll it out, which they already have rolled it out. And for people that are going to resist and do this and do this, these are the countermeasures that they and the powers that be should take. All right. Like I said, this is crazy when you read this thing because it been played out in living color so far. All right. So far, it has played out accurately. Now, this is a big document. It took a while to read. And even in 2020, CNN did a piece on this document, this PDF. It says experts predicted a CV pandemic years ago. Now it's playing out before our eyes. In 2017, a team of experts at the Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security published a scenario as part of a training exercises that they believe could happen in the not so distant future. So this thing is a setup, man. And during false flags, they always are running drills and exercises before they make the thing live. All right, and they've made this thing live. Like I said, when you go back and you read through this document and the countermeasures and the things and the censorship and the targeting of special groups and the hesitancy of some people to take this VC jab, everything is accounted for in this document. It is wild and it's crazy. Okay, we already knew that this man was the devil, but this this solidifies any doubt when you actually get in to this document, man. It's uncanny how accurate this thing can be. Almost it's a prophecy. All right, and we know that the powers that be are working on the left hand side. All right, really, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is allowing this to bring forth his ultimate plan. Okay, but I'm not going to read through all this document. I've taken some points that I'm going to go through. I'm going to bring out a couple scriptures because we're still in this thing, man. And as I read through it and read to the conclusion of it, there are things that are yet to happen that is going to be devastating to this world. And, like I said, this thing is real. Bible prophecy is right on point. You don't take this to know that, but when you get a piece of information like this, you can't do anything but be awestruck. All right, when you go through this document, but there's certain things that they're going to use and have already used that I'm going to go through. The VC injuries, they talked about having that a year down the road, where certain people are going to get mental conditions. Some people are going to get full retardation. These are the words they use in this document. Some people are going to have devastating side effects. All right. People are going to basically go against the government and to open up these so-called inoculation courts so they can sue, even though in this document back in 2017 they said that they were going to make it where they have no liability, which they done that. But it's going to get so bad, they're going to have to open this thing up because people are going to have devastating side effects, right? And I'm going to read, Slacky, bear with me. And I'm going to read something right here, a little couple excerpts. It says communities around the country went through what some felt was a harrowing public health emergency, only later to confront the possibility, however slim, which, you know, they got to throw that BS in there, that the medicine we promised would help them may in fact be hurting them. All right. It says appropriation, while the initial allocation of funds was sufficient to provide compensation for acute side effects, the prospect of long-term effects and potentially permanent disability gave rise to concerns that additional resources would be necessary in the near future. So they already thought ahead in this 3-year event, in this PDF document, of how this thing is going to go, how it's going to fall out, the injuries people are going to get from taking this thing. All right. How certain of the government officials are going to be blamed because they're going to say it was overblown. And basically the cure was worse than the so-called disease. It is crazy, man. All right. And they're pulling this thing off to the T when you read through this document. All right. SPARS, all you gotta do is type in SPARS 2025 and the PDF will come out and you can read it for yourself. All right. You can read it for yourself. But let's get some scriptures. All right. I'm gonna try to make it condense this as much as I can. But we are here, man. We are here. Because this thing reads like Bible prophecy. This is Isaiah 42:9. Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them. And we understand what's coming through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua based on the prophecies that he put in his book. All right. The elite tells you on the left-hand side what they're going to do before they do it. And it's all written in this in this document right here, man. All right. What they plan on doing and how they're going to counteract the groups that don't believe. They got problem groups. Let me go back to my list. They got people that are skeptical of official news. They planned on that. They planned on fighting the echo chamber, which means people are always seeking out confirmation bias. And they're going to use social media to infiltrate groups, Google ads and YouTube ads. And this was in 2017. Anybody talking about keywords or talking about the inoculation in a negative way, they're going to have ads pop up to try to counter that. And all these things have played out so far, mind you. When you look at a video on YouTube, guess what? They have the CDC information written above it. When you type in certain things in Google, they were saying they're going to have information from the World Health Organization pop up. So all these things were in the work before they rolled out this pandemic, man, and it's crazy. All right, it's like a science fiction movie when you go back and read this document, and they change the names and they change the name of the disease, and and they make a story out of it with fictional characters, but the way that it played out within that document is the way it played out in the here and now, right? And they said the problem groups, the so-called blacks and other minorities, Muslims, all right, was a problem group. People that are heavily religious is going to be a problem group. All right, those that believe in the natural health movements are going to be a problem group as this thing gets farther and farther down the road, as they talk about in this document, man. Okay. So they got to have specialized propaganda to counteract and even basically sounded like they're going to pay off or co-opt leaders, prominent figures, which you've already seen that with your Magic Johnsons, your Arsenio Halls, all right, that they put on TV. They said they were going to do this in 2017 to get the masses to go along with this, all right? And when that doesn't work, they said they're going to go even local, all right? So, man, you guys in these other Israelite groups, and we said this, you got other Israelite groups telling you to take this thing, even though in this document, when you get to the document after the VC jab has been rolled out, and 6 months to a year down the road, people start feeling these devastating effects of it. You got your Israelite leaders, IUIC, ISUPK, telling you to take this thing. And it's all written out black and white in this document what's going to happen and the side effects of what's going to happen. And it's crazy, man. And Esau always uses plausible deniability. They're gonna say this is fictitious, this is just a war game simulation, but they actually rolled this thing out, man. Like I said, this document is from 2017, right? Let's keep going. Let's get the precept to the one I just read. Isaiah 46:10. It says, declaring the end from the beginning, from the ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. Right? So like I said, on the left-hand side, these elite are letting you know through these documents, through these papers, what's happening, just like the Lord is allowing his elect to know how he is going to run things in these end times, man. All right? So these people that put this thing together, and if you go through it, they got pictures, they got notes, they got scenarios, and all the tweets. They even got the tweets. They talk about the social media and how they're going to co-opt that, lean on big technology to basically preach what the government wants them to preach. Censorship, which is a heavy thing right now. All these things are put into this document. All right, all these things are put into this document, and it's and it's amazing how it played out. Even rolling blackouts that happened, man. Earlier a month ago or a couple years ago, it's written in this document, man. All right, so far all these things have came to pass, planned out, right? How the lead are pushing this thing. So it makes me think that the ending, right? The ending of this thing, which I just seen earlier this morning on the news, how the new variant is going to target kids, and that was put into this document also. How the kids are going to get start having worse effects, and the new variant is going to target kids, and they're going to get sick, and that will have the parents increase these inoculation rates. They'll make them want to have it. They'll make their family want to have it because the kids are going to be pushed and prodded into the public as, see, do it for your kids. And that's also put in this document. It was from 2017. All right. All right. And it talks about and they use, I believe, Filipinos in this scenario as anti-Filipino. They're going to experience discrimination. And what did you just have? Asian lives matter, hate groups against the hate. All the things that are written in this document have played out so far. And like I said, as you get to the end of the document, and it tells you once the VC jab has been rolled out, all right, and they have targeted and pushed to get the people they want to take this thing, then you're going to get the injuries from it. All right, you're going to get the injuries from it. I'm going to jump down to the end of the paragraph. It says, as the pandemic tapered off, several influential politicians and agency representatives came under fire for sensationalizing the severity of the event for perceived political gain. All right, because people are going to be suffering from taking this thing later on down the road. It's something known as a soft kill. When you look into that, So these people are so worked up thinking they're doing it for the greater good, and actually down the road, like I said, it's gonna permanently disable some people. All right, it's gonna really mess up some people from this thing. All right, this is a scenario uh, that they put in this document, right? And like I was, this is another excerpt. It says, if someone searched Google for, and the name of this is CoralVax side effects, for example, a sidebar advertisement appeared on the results page explaining the benefits of the VC. Likewise, if someone wished to view calcifivar, which is a medicine they also claim this document they're going to come out with, calcifivar vomiting, which people had side effects from, video on YouTube, they would first have to watch either a montage of pictures illustrating the effects of SPARS or a clip of Paul Farmer's explanation of CoreVax benefits. Basically, it's propaganda to basically indoctrinate you that this thing is safe. But at the end of the document, they talk about what the long-term disability and effects from this thing. They talked about how certain people, it's so much in this thing, how people are going to feel that it's rushed, and how we're going to overcome those resistances when people tell us that it's rushed, and basically increase people's belief and faith that the CV19 jab is good. But they using different names. All right, they just changed the names when they went live with this thing. But this document, like I said, I'm a little bit all over the place, and I usually don't do videos like this, but this thing, I had to speak on it. I had to speak on it because Satan, hey man, they've rolled this thing out, man. This thing is live, and this document, like I said, they put a lot of work into this thing, and they're following it to the T so far. They are following it to the T so far. Uh, let's keep going. Let's get 2 Corinthians 2 and 11. It says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices, right? So we understand who our enemy is. While a lot of our people, including my own family members, believe in this, believe in what the media is saying, believe in the propaganda, and easily it's going to be harmed by this. This is Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and be aware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. Right? So the ones of you that are in the know who this man is, who Esau Edom is today on this earth, and you're going to him for an answer. This man is getting ready to kill you. Flat out, man. All right? And he basically puts it in your face when you go through this document. All right? They show, like I said, they show almost hashtags and tweets that they would use to counter arguments. It is crazy, man. All right? It's a whole live exercise. It's a whole exercise they took live, man. All right, and they just changed names, and they changed fictitious, names to politicians for this scenario. But they actually rolled this thing out, standing in line, protesting online, uh, important health advisory, get the jab against SPARS, all these things that are happening, that have happened, right, so far, has fulfilled what they wrote in this document, man. So brothers, they gotta, I encourage brothers to go through this thing, look through this thing, because this thing it played out, man. It played out so far. All right. Let's see if I got anything else. This is Proverbs 29:26. It says, many seek the ruler's favor, but every man's judgment coming from the Lord, right? So our people still following after Esau, Edom, thinking that he is their savior, are going to be in for a rude awakening, man. A very rude awakening, okay? Because they know what's coming a little bit longer down the road from this. It's going to appear to be all good. I've got the VC jab. I can go back out into the so-called public. But really, at the end of the day, you setting yourself up for possible permanent disability, as they describe it in the document, man. And this one more. Proverbs 25:19. Confidence in the unfaithful man in time of trouble is like a broken tooth and a foot out of joint. So to have confidence in the system, to have confidence in these politicians and these governments and these doctors and these lab coats, you got to be out of your mind after reading something like this that has been game planned, like a playbook at a sporting event, and rolled out, and is written in 2017. But this has went long enough, hopefully, I was a little bit all over the place, that you brothers and sisters get something out of it. And I want to say shalom the next time.